Welcome back. We're on episode 10, which is our season finale of PodcastBozo. Today is 7/28/2020, which happens to be the same day that Animal House was released in theaters. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Shout out to David S. for being our loyal listener this week. That's always a tough one for me. I'm your host, JJ, and I'm here with Sean, a certified beer server, Eli, our resident artist, and today we'll be talking about fights, brawls, and what
insults.
else? And then what takes a leader. And now, our special guest. He's got a smile seen for miles. He's got eyes bluer than the sky. He's the mean-eating, world-healing, hat-wearing son of a gun. The one who will leave you stunned. Got time to spend and watch our friend. He's generous. He's fabulous. His rivals don't even come close. He's the man with the most. Back from the dead, the man that can't be kept down, leader of the masses. He doesn't wear glasses. The king of nitrous, the mean-eating, kid-saving man of the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Chris Shoe, a.k.a. ShoeNice.
Man. I've never been introduced like that before, bro.
Hey, baby. I was loving your gloats.
Now.
We should have a podcast where the only format is just WWE talking content.
What's that?
Do you guys watch that?
I'm not. I don't watch it regularly. I love watching clips of it and stuff like that, but I can't call myself an avid fan.
I can't believe Ronda Rousey goes from UFC to WWE. She was a beast. She got beat up once and left. They must have gave her a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, is there really more money in WWE? I've never heard good things about how they're treated as employees there. So
it's just not the same without all the hillbillies in the audience with the signs and stuff.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Like a wrestling match down in Tijuana.
Yeah.
Chris, who's your favorite WWE wrestler?
We got to go back in the day when I was a kid. I just watched it because that was the only thing with no cable. And it's that ran Andre the Giant. His hands were as big as mine. Then you got Randy Savage. Hulk Hogan was cool until we started getting all weird. You know? But that other dude, what is his name, man? I can't even remember. A lot of marijuana over the last 4 decades.
Well, quickly, before we segue into conversation, we have a random question section. And E, tell me the weather while scatting.
What's scatting is like boo boo bop boo doo 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 doo.
Yeah.
Raining outside. Blah. My toes are cold. Real humid. Ba 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 ba. Thank you, Jay.
All right, enough of that.
What was that?
We have a random question that we ask one of the hosts every episode, and I'd like to shoot it out at a random time. And so that was that, and that's the end of the really weird stuff.
I heard you in the beginning saying something about this is the final episode of the season. How many seasons are you guys on?
This is our first. We're on the 10th episode of our first season.
I'm the first of the last. That's cool.
You're the
first finale.
We saved you. You're the fireworks. Well, thank you for being on.
Hey, man. I might see your guys' images glitch a little bit, but as long as you can see me good, just let me know. You know, I don't want to have anything screwed up on your end.
Yeah, we're good, and
cool.
We're good at overcoming technological difficulties.
We'll just roll with the punches.
So we'll go with it.
You guys are my 4th podcast today, and I've done like 10 the last 2 weeks. I literally got to get like professional, is it called? I hate responsibility.
Man,
you
you
know?
need an agent. What's going on here?
Nah, you don't need an agent, bro. This is
Yeah.
you don't need a middleman with the internet. The days of giving somebody 25% of, your income because they're not talented and they got you connected. You can connect yourself to the world now, bro. You don't need a
Right.
minute. You guys want to be my manager? Cool, man.
Nah, no, we can't manage you, ShoeNice. You're all over the place. We can't control that.
Yeah, nobody ever could. I've had I think I had one for like a week.
Well, you're obviously successful on your own.
Hey, I don't know how they did it, guys, but they made me look like John C. Reilly from the movie Talladega Nights in my new license.
Oh my God.
I'm like, you couldn't
hilarious.
have me redo that picture? She's like, put your neck down. I'm like, yeah. I just got that.
Well, congratulations. Hey, we're Coloradans too, so that's something else to talk about right there.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Where are you guys located?
We're in Denver. Eli and I are in the same house right now, recording from Denver. Sean's in Vermont, so we don't have to talk about him. But
I just want to see
right.
how close I am to you guys for a few days. I'm heading out on early Saturday to Cali. But so where are you guys located as far as? Give me like a
I'm in Broadway, right by Casa Bonita, but this house that Jay lives in is right off of Broadway and
South
2nd.
Broadway, so towards Livewell.
yeah, so we're in
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. We'll describe it in terms of live well. There's a well now going into stores 2 blocks down this way to the north, and to the south we got to live now. So maybe you can circumnavigate that.
If I got in my car right now and drove and did the speed limit, I could probably be sitting next to you guys within 14 minutes.
Yeah,
I
my
know.
guy.
We
You guys
thought
should
about
have
it.
him in the
Came down and we
studio.
could have done the show.
I know. Maybe if you're up to it, someday we'll do it again. The only reason
You
that we
guys are
didn't
famous or something. Don't forget about me. You know what I mean?
shoot.
You're gonna be on the
Never
top of
forget
our
about you.
list.
I've been thinking about you my whole life.
I just, everybody always is like, oh, I'm too big. I got 1 million subscribers. I can't do it. I mean, I literally did so many videos for the little guy. I spread myself too thin with my first channel. I'm just too nice. Okay. Listen to every rap song and telling them it's good. I was like Dr. Phil in a Facebook of like 5,000 friends and 18,000 followers. So, I mean, I just started doing Post-it notes with people's names, and I would just smile, and it spread throughout the whole Facebook community that literally there was people in high schools that were just getting my fan sign with their name on it just because it was trending at the time in America. And that's how it really blew up the first time.
Well,
what was the question?
I gotta say what's that? Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I forgot what we were talking about.
No. I mean, I gotta say that your response time to our emails is incredible for such a busy guy. Like,
yeah, people always say, "Oh, this guy will never, he'll never show up." You might have had that in the back of your head. Don't lie. But
yeah, I did.
Don't lie, Jay.
But no, listen. Like I said, I like helping out the little guy because I just blew up because I had RWJ. World's Dumbest, everything just hit at once. So I blew up past PewDiePie. I had like 38,000 subs. PewDiePie had 13,000. And so I helped all these guys, LABs. I made Max Mofo, iDubbbz, and they're actually How to Basic, but they really don't like to talk about it publicly. But I helped out all these channels through Facebook, posting them on anybody's post. It didn't matter if Grandma Millie passed away. I'm posting a dude eats 3 tampons in under a minute. Boom. little Jimmy graduated 5th grade. Fuck Jimmy. This dude just had a bottle of vodka. I had so many people that hated me, but that's free advertising. Back in the day, whether you sold vacuums or cars or whatever, if somebody could just go into somebody's, right on their doorstep is just posting something in their Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
It's true.
I've gone through probably 47 social accounts since 2011. But I'm the spam king. There'll be a movie about me. Nobody's seen punishments like I've seen. I have a lady on Twitter that just hunts for me. I made it 2 weeks last time, so she comes in and goes, "Nice try." Yeah.
What is the deal with that lady?
I lost my main channel, and it sucked, but who cares? I just wanted my videos back. They came in, apologized to me, and they gave me another channel with another chance with ads on it. No other YouTubers ever had that. YouTube doesn't do that, so it was pretty cool. It'll be a movie someday.
I think there will be.
John Cena will play me in my adult years.
I'll be the announcer.
I love that.
Yeah.
I could actually see the resemblance in that.
Yeah, John Cena and ShoeNice.
Sorry about the drinking,
Couple
guys. I'm so
meat
dehydrated.
boys.
What's that?
Sorry about the drinking during a live stream. It's kind of rude.
Hey, you've been
you're
running
good.
all day. You gotta have a sore throat at this point.
Yeah,
He's
Speaking all your truth.
Yeah.
So wait, what's this? I didn't follow that. What's this story about your account getting shut down because of some lady?
Oh no! What happened with YouTube is we just got all Logan Paul went to the Japanese suicide forest and showed the guy hanging in the tree. The next day, it was all over Good Morning America. I woke up to that and I said, "Oh boy, here we go. YouTube's gonna have all kinds of laws." And sure enough, 2,000 of us got shut down. And even the lady that went down there and started shooting up the place, everybody just got all their careers taken away from them over, the Tide Pods and Logan Paul. Kids eating Tide Pods. So I made a Tide Pod parody telling kids not to eat it. But they just read the title, Tide Pod eating, and they just shut me down. But another person came in the next day and said, "Oh, you can't shut down ShoeNice." And they turned my channel back on. And then it was a battle across the table. And they just came in. They said, "You just have way too many dangerous acts that we can't even get rid of on YouTube. There's thousands of videos of you that are stolen. It would just take us forever. So we're just going to let you stay on YouTube because you can take ShoeNice off of YouTube, but you can't take ShoeNice out of YouTube." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The legend never dies.
The number one proper name for any YouTuber. PewDiePie, nobody has more videos. There's over 25,000. Just hate, love, compilations, just stolen videos of me slamming vodka in every single country of the world. So I'll never die. I'll always be a legend, but I got to get to 1 million subscribers, even if it takes me till I'm 7. That's 19 years. Plus, I got to fight in the UFC.
Baby.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, Chris. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Hey.
You ain't lying, Hobart. Is that a college?
Yeah, it's in Geneva, like right on Seneca Lake in central New York.
Oh, bro, I did all kinds of work out there. I was a tin knocker up in upstate New York for 2 decades, just sleeping out of town with 10, 15 dudes, man, getting good money. And we just go into a town, terrorize it. I'd go into the bar, eat all the coasters, do a 3 beer bottle. I was famous even before the internet. I'd have all my roofing buddies drinking for free by eating rocks out of the parking lot. I'd be like, that's it. I almost broke the toilet bowl at this hotel one morning, man. Fucking rock was that big. I swallowed for $50.
Oh my God. Jeez.
But hey, I did like Finger Lakes. I did like the architectural SUNY college out there.
Yeah.
I did.
I'm from the Finger Lakes.
Me, JJ and I are from. Yeah, that's where we're from.
We're from Skinny Alice. Yeah.
Oh, I think you told me that.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I overshare.
So you guys know Syracuse outside like the Route 20 area? You know, when you go into Munsville near like Oneida Nation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I did the copper roof in that Oneida Nation. So when you drive by that thing, you look over, it's probably lime green now. I fell off that roof, broke my ankle. You can make a movie about us doing that.
What?
Roof, dude. It was like this thick. The roof was this thick with all kinds of different insulations and stand-up steel. It was the craziest job I've ever been on, dude. And I slid on some copper. It was frosty, and my ankle just went. So I'm literally
many near-death
I'm
lives?
living above the bar that we all hang out in. I didn't want to stay at the hotel, so I'm just hanging out at the bar with my broken ankle. He's got to go to jail, the owner. So he goes, "Hey, can you bartend?" So now I'm behind the bar bartending for all my roofing buddies getting out of work. They're like, "Hey, I ain't giving you shit. No, you ain't getting nothing for free." I was a cheap bastard, but they get they'd fight the locals. I'd jump over. Who am I supposed to block? The locals I hang out with all day or the roofer and drunks I work with? It was crazy.
How many near-death experiences have you had in your life? I feel like
I ate a pack of Camels. I ate a pack of non-filtered Camel cigarettes when I was 4. My dad's, and I turned blue as Smurfette's vagina. They rushed me to the hospital, and I just came back. And then, let me see. Probably I got hit in the head with a hammer. This kid was trying to fix his chain on his bike, and he's whacking the chain guard, and he's telling me, "Tell me when you think it's straight." And I look and I said, "Hit it one more time."
Oh God!
I missed the bike
Comes
and
at you in a
the claw.
temple.
The claw went right into my head right here. You can still see
Jesus.
the scar. And then my uncle was kidding around, and he bounces us off the end of the fold-out couch, and then my legs caught the spring, and it catapulted me into a chimney, and that's that scar right there, the fireplace. So I mean, that wasn't near death, but I mean,
I can't even imagine or picture that one happening. You were bounced into a chimney?
in Desert Storm, Iraq, I got blown off the back of a 5-ton, and I should have been dead. I was knocked out, and they just kept going. Thank God somebody noticed I was missing. Spent 2 weeks in the MASH there. I fell through a painted-over skylight, fell 28 feet into the building, landed on my head. That's that scar right there.
Oh, man. Woo.
And,
boy.
You're going to look like Hellraiser by the time you die with all those scars.
And I almost choked on a Hostess cupcake doing a YouTube video. That's probably my near-death experiences. Car accident, end over end. Beat up
After all that.
The cops beat me up so bad one time I thought I died, but they revived me.
After all that, if a Hostess cupcake was responsible for taking you down, I would be so pissed.
That's why I stay away from society, bro, because I don't want to die of something stupid. You always hear them famous stories getting, the guy ate tampons and slammed bottles of liquor and he gets hit by a dude on a moped. I ain't going out like that, bro.
Not a moped. Not 50cc.
If you had like a glorified death, the coolest death, the way you could go out, what do you think that would be?
I'm probably throwing on a Trump hat and a T-shirt and just running right into an Antifa crowd going, "Let's do it!" Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, boy.
That would be a fast track. That's
A martyr's death right there.
Now, I don't know. I just, I want to live. I want to do about 30 more years of entertaining people. I want to be like Don Rickles, just that old guy up in a Vegas, casino, doing comedy, ripping on all the tourists. That's what I'm really good at doing, is ripping on people.
Give us a little material on Sean.
Yeah,
What's
rip
that?
on this
Sean,
wart face guy.
So you guys are in Missouri right now?
No. We are... Eli and I...
Denver.
Denver. Yeah.
And you go to
I couldn't tell if that
Denver's-
was going to be part of the ripping on us or not.
No, you go to Denver's college?
We did. Eli and I did. But I'm 5 years removed and Eli's 3.
Oh, you decided to stay in Denver because it's awesome out here?
Exactly.
Precisely.
It's so much better than upstate New York with Bogart is his name? Hobart.
Oh, come on.
Hogarth.
Hogarth.
You don't got to rip on upstate
Iron
like
Giant.
Hey, upstate New York, you say Bogart. We say coffee. When I ask for a coffee, man, they're like, "What, coffee?" Yeah, it's
Coffee.
New York.
Yeah.
They're like coffee around here.
Coffee.
They sound out evil like that too.
Well, if
But
you don't mind,
how many subscribers do you guys have?
Not enough.
Subscribers over all channels, I would say 40 to 50. We get about I didn't count in the last week, but we grow about 20 every time we do an episode.
Well, I'll share this one really good, and you'll get a lot of people to come over. You'll have my haters, and they'll dislike and everything, but who cares? It's views.
We like the haters.
We just want the
Publicity is good
attention.
publicity.
Exactly.
Yeah. Give us the thumbs down. We'll handle it. We can take it.
Say, these are the most disgusting people you've ever encountered. You can't deal with them. They're awful.
Man, I've got grown men that have been obsessed with me for 8-9 years. That's their whole life, man. And then they fought each other, and they all actually extinguished each other. I mean, one guy, he went to prison. He had child porn distribution charges, and I was thinking this guy just hated me so bad that he was trying to dox me, and he got caught. Now he's a sex offender for life. I'm hoping it's that way instead of the other way, that I was dealing with the devil. You know what I mean? But this whole, I mean, these haters, get over it. It's just YouTube. What are you talking about? You know,
They love to hate, though.
Yeah, I mean,
They thrive off of it.
Hey, low key, I love it, man. Drama beats my heart. Every time I piss off somebody, I sleep like this when I know I pissed off 20 haters.
Well, because the people that you can piss off like that are just they're wired differently. They're so focused on the wrong things, and you're focused on the right things. It seems like so. I know.
Sober.
Hey, that's huge! Congratulations! Snaps to that.
My marijuana use is triple.
Yeah, well,
that's fine,
and
though.
that's why we're boys.
I hate when people say, "Oh, you're not sober if you're still smoking." Shut up! That whole sobriety AA 12 steps. I did the 12 steps to AA. Somebody left a bottle of vodka on the 13th step. You know what I mean? I was a sponsor one time. You know what I mean? Hey, Chris, I feel like having a drink. Well, come on down to the bar. They're about to close. I'll buy you a shot.
Well, that's not what they had in mind when they said sponsor, but I get what you're saying.
Half of DWI people, maybe even 75%, are just people that are trying to kiss the ass of the city attorney because they got a DWI. And, they don't give a shit about your story. Hi, my name is ShoeNice, and I'm an alcoholic. Hey, I know you from YouTube, bro.
Do you get a lot of authority, like officials recognizing you from YouTube? And
all the time, bro. It's annoying. I used to love it, but now it's just like I hide from people. I just But now with the mask is perfect. Because I don't mind doing it, but then you got 10 dudes that just want Snapchats. Yo, my brother's on his way down, dude. You got to stay here. People are so obsessed with me, and it's all I did was eat rolls of toilet paper to try and get a TV gig. That's why I joined YouTube in the first place. I didn't know I was going to become an icon,
Well, yeah, it makes sense. People like us follow you for too long, and some people lose sight of the humanity of someone like that, and it just becomes you almost become like an object to some people where they think you're there to please them,
Right.
And just like you. Yeah.
Some people say I got the soul of Robin Williams. This mystic lady, this hypnotist, told me that. She goes, "You have the soul of Robin Williams. You just can't sit. You just can't sit still. You got a million things to say, but you bring people and they follow you." And hey, laughter's the best medicine, bro. It's so easy. It's just a simple business. People are telling me to get a real job. I've been a roofer since I was 17, dude. Even after I broke my back, I got out of bed. I just gave my ex-wife and my son everything. Keep it all, you jerks. And I'm starting over with YouTube in my life, dude. And I will be a UFC heavyweight contender at the age of 54, bro. I'm telling you, Mike Tyson's coming back. That's my hero. When I heard Mike Tyson's fighting September 12th, age is just a number when you're born a beast, dude. I come from a whole boxing bloodline going back to the late 1800s, bare knuckles, dude. And it's every other generation. My father could fight, but he was a pussy. So I'm doing it. I was just busy
you got the
last
gift.
30 years.
I'm tuning in.
The stars are aligned. The fates have decided.
I'm probably going to retire right after I win the belt. I'm going to say, keep it, Dana, keep it. and then just go back to just smoking weed. I mean, I think you can smoke weed in the UFC because Nate Diaz does it publicly. So. Do you
That's
guys
true.
watch UFC, or are you guys all like anti-violence?
I'm anti-violence. I'm full vegan. I eat grass for breakfast.
Forget
so I'm
this,
not.
man.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I
ShoeNice
love
rocking
UFC. I love UFC.
I don't even care, dude. I don't even care, man. Let everybody,
Nah.
every human's different. Let them live, man.
No, true. No, but I don't know about Cheek, but I know I love UFC.
My father was a pothead, but he brought me up the right way. He'd be like, son, don't ever judge a man by the color of his skin. Judge him by the color of the weed he's smoking. If it's that brown Mexican shit, he's probably a jerk.
Oh, man. Sage wisdom.
Wise words.
Hey, that Andre the Giant, he dated a nurse that my stepmother ran this nursing company back in the early 80s, and he came to one of our family. It was just a beer ball picnic, but he came to it, man. And his hand literally just, like my hand, we were only like 10, but I mean, just touching his hand was like that as a kid.
Yeah. Just a little pea.
I don't know why
Man, he
I
was
just
big.
brought up that reference. Were we talking about beer ball parties?
This is
This
is all about tangents, so you're right on line. I think you nailed it.
I wanted
he was a
that's
big
what I
man.
wanted to say. My father and stepmother had an array of people at the parties, You had your gays, your lesbians, whatever, and everybody just smoked pot and got along. And so we were brought up in a real, just, you don't judge anybody for what they're doing with their life unless they're a serial killer or something.
Right. Yeah.
And then they're the life of the party.
Yeah.
Or the
there's
death of the
definitely
party.
Nice Cheek.
I kill boxes of cereal.
I kill boxes here.
Chris,
Hey, on my old channel, I ate a whole box of Fruity Pebbles in the box it came in, and it's gone. My 650 creations over a 7-year period, YouTube's just going to snatch away. Well, everybody else that stole them can still have them on their channel.
Well, that's an interesting power dynamic you have to deal with as a YouTuber or anyone on the internet, is that you're at the helm of this ship that some guys that own YouTube and Google are driving, and they can just snap their fingers and there goes your career right there.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You get one angry intern, or they don't like you, and they're doing this thing where they're shoving, they're giving your video a strike. They literally they took the ads away from me eating a bottle of cinnamon. And there's people out there on YouTube doing way crazier, dangerous stuff with all kinds of ads. Anybody from parkour. You shouldn't be letting some kid jump over a 30-story drop.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What is that encouraging people to do?
I can't understand.
You are basically doing... Oh, go ahead.
No, I just can't understand them dudes. They slip and fall and die. They move on, but they got a whole fan. Everybody's got to bury them and everything. What happened to them is jumping buildings for YouTube. It's sad.
Yeah. It's true. If you really think about it, the stunts that a parkour person is doing, or anyone doing anything like that, is just as dangerous as what you're doing, and is encouraging just as many people, probably more, because parkour is an achievable thing that you can work out to do and things like that.
And you look at some of these people today. Humans must just keep evolving, because to have somebody leap that far, they should just be in the Olympics. They're literally beating the long jump record of anybody. True. The triple jump.
Yeah.
Just like that.
My stomach just drops. I can't watch that, or live leak videos. I can't watch that. It's just, it desensitizes the soul. These people go to live leak and just watch ladies get run over by buses, and I just don't know how people watch that on a daily basis.
Gnarly.
It's that whole dichotomy between YouTube has now found themselves in this interesting space of riding the line of having to allow freedom of speech because they're the only platform people can express themselves in that way, and then having all this pressure to sensitize or like play to these sensitive people and these helicopter moms and dads who want their kids to be sheltered from the real world and stuff like that. And
I can see how people could get into that because it's such like a heavy effect seeing death online. I feel like it's almost addicting. Like people get hooked on that shock feeling.
what's
I
that?
used to make good money. I used to make good money over there just uploading my old alcohol slams because they would put it on the front page. So I was making a good $700-800 a month just uploading videos from YouTube. And then they came in, they said, well, we're going to cut your pay in half. I said, well, I'm out of here, man. I got to sneak by fucking babies jumping out of a fucking house fire to get to my, to my revenue. No, I'm out of here. So I never went back. And I still have videos in my head, like dogs getting kidnapped in China to be made into food. I still can't get that out of my head. I need a moment to myself.
Yeah. Emotional support apps. That's what we need.
So, well, man, I definitely I can share this on H3's Reddit, Pyrocynical's Reddit. I can cover probably 1 million people with a video after you guys upload it to somewhere on YouTube.
Yeah. Be happy to have that. And if you don't mind, we still got more to go. You can sign off anytime you want. But
I'm not going anywhere, bro.
All right.
Hey,
cool.
my guy.
Well, the
You
next
can't get rid of him that easily.
You guys set this shit up in 2017. I got to do it.
Hey. Well, the next thing that we do here, I think, just to get to another segment, I guess, is Eli. I'm going to let you do your topic first,
right.
Which Eli's going to talk about brawls, fights, and insults. And he's going to kind of pose the topic in a conversational way, and then we're going to be encouraged to just talk about it from our perspectives, if that's cool with you, Shue.
World Star.
World Star, baby. So
they got sued. They don't do that anymore, man. Now there's just World Star fights on their main channel. They don't put them up anymore, really.
Yeah.
Haven't been on in a minute. I always used to watch those. They were entertaining to me.
Back when Vine was a thing, World Star was big too.
So have y'all ever been in fights before? What's your philosophy on them? When do you think is appropriate to get in them? When isn't? Do you think that fights generally are fun? And also, what are your favorite insults or chirps?
You're asking me right now?
Anyone just posing it.
Well, I'll tell you right now, just being born good looking, man, I ain't trying to brag, but ever since from third grade up, when girls all like you and stuff, and the nerds want to like the girl, and I don't even like the girl, and they always want to beat up that good looking dude. And then I got bigger in like 7th, 8th grade. They would make me ask out girls. They'd make me eat baking soda and salt in the home economics class. Yeah, they used to teach dudes how to.
Wait, so the nerds bullied you, is what you're saying?
Did I say nerds? I meant the bullies. But I wasn't a nerd. But yeah, they would just like. So I just was always like this victim of circumstance, until I started wrestling. But I hated fights. I used to always break them up because I knew like if I got into a fight, I hurt somebody. So I just always stayed away from that. I'm not trying to say I'm a tough guy, but I put 5 cops in the hospital and they were on duty. They just kept beating me. So I just fought back. And I'm so anti-violent. I just hate bullying. I mean, I was bullied. You remember that shit forever. And then, I could have beat this kid up in high school. I was a wrestler. I feared no one. And I could have done the same thing in the hallway he did to me. But, so I'm anti-bullying fighting, but professional fighting, one-on-one with another human being, got to try it out once, bro.
Yeah.
Do you like wrestling or bare knuckle boxing? Like, what's your...
Getting
if you had to do set rules?
I overall like mixed martial arts. Just that judo is just one of the most incredible things to have in your skill set. Nobody's ever going to win against you if you got a good belt in judo. So, but I mean, yeah, I'm all about peace and love and harmony and just bringing humanity together. I think I was born a messiah,
Yeah.
Nice
Born a
mornings.
Messiah. That's gonna be the quote of the quote of the podcast.
That's going to be your UFC name when your UFC career takes
Messiah.
off.
The Messiah.
And then the whole thing with that is I can't train with other people. I tried it. I joined a couple of clubs for years, and I just couldn't hit another dude, or it was even women sometimes in the face. So I just dropped out. So I don't know how I'm going to be in the UFC because I'm training solely by myself. I'm hitting myself in the face every day. I'm training in California. And you guys laugh. My whole year, 52 years old, I'm just going to be hitting this heavy bag. And when I get my cardio back, after 10 bong hits, nobody will touch me.
Oh, the Messiah.
Oh, they don't
weed
test for
smoking.
THC on UFC because then I'll be playing for Bellator on TNT.
I can't wait to see you in the press conferences before when they're like trying to insult you and you've just dealt with this your whole life.
You got the fist.
And you're just like ignoring them. And
I also hate when there's two people fighting and then somebody's just got to come out of nowhere and just sucker punch them.
Oh, sucker punch.
that
That is
five
the
people-
worst.
5 people on one dude. When he's down and out, man, you don't just keep jumping on his head.
No,
I
yeah.
pulled
You
my
don't
I
kick
pulled my
someone
own
that's
friends
down.
off of people, man.
Messed up.
well, E, I know you have a fight story of a time that you were defending your
Yeah.
own honor.
ShoeNice, I have a similar philosophy. I'm all about peace and love, no violence. But I grew up, just boys messing around at like summer camp. We'd get into like fun fights.
Right.
And that was all good stuff. So I enjoyed that. But
Put on the
I
boxing
never.
gloves.
No boxing gloves. We would just do bare knuckles, but like no headshots, no groin shots.
Right.
That was fun. I enjoyed that a lot, but I never felt good about hurting someone. Like I would always pull back and be afraid to hurt someone. But the thing about fighting is when you get hurt yourself, it's like a flip switches and you get this adrenaline rush.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so I can see how. I'm sure the story about you getting hurt by the cops was like a breaking moment where that adrenaline rush kicked in.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, I'm a victim of circumstance. A buddy of mine brought me to a high school graduation party. There was nothing but punks from this city. And they held me up like a scarecrow. And they were jumping on my head. I was like, Nike, Adidas, Reebok, you ain't shit. And I just had adrenaline rush of I'm getting up and walking out of this party after 30 people had their hands with me. So just one-on-one, I just want to try once, you know what I mean?
You haven't had a one-on-one fight?
Have you ever seen the Pepsi commercials?
How about you and me box in the street? I'll drive down there right now. You got boxing?
Let's do it. Let's see
Come
it.
at me, Chris. Come at me.
We'll put it up on the live stream. Let's go.
Outside the Walgreens parking lot.
I mean,
Bed
so
of his truck.
Denver's just different now. Well, everything's different now, you know what I mean, with what's going on with Corona and everybody doing whatever in the streets. But I 16th Street, I don't think there's a bar I'm allowed in anymore. Because of doing stunts and stuff, they just don't like that entertainment.
No way. You think if you tried to get in a bar there, they would say,
Well, a bartender doesn't want to see all these dudes piling up money as this guy eats their beer coasters and rips the tops off, and it just looks like an insurance claim. They're taking over
liability.
That tip money's going to me now instead of them. That's how they see it.
True.
So I don't
You're
really
gonna win
do
that fight.
anymore. I don't. I literally there's thousands of people that see me way before the internet, and they'll never forget it running into me because it was something I did there that. I used to put 20 cigarettes out of my tongue, just for...
That is gnarly. How do you not get scarred from that?
Yeah, how's your tongue?
But your tongue is the quickest healing thing in your body, actually. I had a cigar put in my tongue. That took a little while to heal, but yeah, I mean, it heals, and eventually your tongue builds up like an old leather boot.
Oh, God. You got a leathery tongue.
I bet you're a pretty French kisser.
They used to call me the human ashtray. Like, for real, I dress up like that at Halloween, wrapped in copper. And I just go around at the Halloween contest and have people put cigarettes in. I'd take people's gum and just eat it, swallow it.
Yeah.
So what's the weirdest poop you've ever had with all the shit you eat?
Oh man, probably wooden house matches. You know what I mean?
That was the weirdest one.
It looked like a little pine cone thing you made for the chipmunks in the yard back when you were kids, the peanut butter.
Oh my god.
I can perfectly visualize it. I'm gonna have dreams about ShoeNice's poop now.
I feel like you need a specialized toilet.
Obsessed with that. It's like such a nonstop question, and it's like people message me on Instagram. I'm too scared to look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Flush it before you can even look.
It's a live grenade.
I mean, you eat a box of Crayola crayons before you know you're going to eat the rainbow. You're going to shit the rainbow.
That should be Crayola's new slogan.
Eat the
or
Crayola meets Skittles.
Yeah.
I ate 2 condoms once. They came out like sausage.
No.
Oh God.
No.
Ready for the grill.
Sorry, man. This is family friendly.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, our families do listen to it, but it's not family friendly. Cheek, do you have any fight stories?
I don't have very many good fight stories. I haven't been in very many fights. Definitely a couple times during college, outside a party house, gotten into just some scraps with some, lacrosse kids or punks that were just being assholes to like girls in the party and stuff, and try and throw them out, and they are all drunk and pissed off, and it just turns into a match of like 5 of your friends and 5 of their friends like wrestling on the ground basically until the cop shows up in the driveway and everybody runs.
Yeah, good old college fight days. I remember like it was last week. Oh yeah,
it was last week.
I went to college for 19 years, man. I just couldn't leave the keg parties.
Yeah, that's the good stuff right there.
Where were you at college, ShoeNice?
I did Hudson Valley back right out of quitting high school, the GED kind of thing. And then I quit, went to the Army. Kind of, I fell through the skylight, and then I couldn't go in the union anymore. So the union pays for you to go back to school. So I just went in for acting, TV production, theater, everything that I was good at. But I'm this 38-year-old guy walking around with a wedding ring trying to buy bags of weed. And everybody's like, oh, he's a cop, he's a teacher. So I would take the wedding ring off, turn my hat around backwards, and I turned 28, dude, within a minute. Everybody loved me. So that was
like an undercover cop.
And I went there for years. I was doing really good. And then I got my lawsuit from falling through the skylight. I'm like, I don't need a college degree. I'm rich. And then I got famous on YouTube real quick. And I said, screw it. I got this Desert Storm Fund. I'm just going to go back to college. And I went to SUNY Albany. And that's where I chained myself to the fountain and became a legend all over the city. And that blew up my YouTube. People were throwing tampons at me because I was protesting. They canceled Fountain Day. So they all went to march to the president, and I locked myself to the fountain. And literally, that's how I blew up. You guys can just Google that. Just Google crazy veteran chains himself to the fountain, SUNY Albany. It's a great story.
Wow, I'm going to take a note of that. We got to...
Yeah, the news clips are unreal. I'm like the real Forrest Gump. I was born with braces on my legs. I went to war and back. I had a fucking boy with a chick named Jenny. I mean, for real, man.
No.
Man of many names, the real Forrest Gump and the Messiah.
We're getting so many good UFC tag names out of this episode. The Human Ashtray.
Oh, you'll see us at your debut with signs.
I'm the freight train. I'm Shoe the freight train nice.
The freight
like
train.
I come at you like a freight train with jackhammers up to the front. It's just like you can't do anything. You're just fighting for your life. My hand covers half of 3/4 of a human head, so you're getting a black eye and a broken jaw, one punch.
Damn, baby.
Makes me wonder if anyone...
I can't waste these hands. They weren't made for eating tampons and knitting sweaters for poodles. I gotta just hit one dude in the face and see if I can knock him out.
Yeah. One punch.
Eli, you're going to be that
Either
guy.
Maybe you guys have me on the show. If I become a
In the
UFC
parking lot.
heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Look at, I even got ShoeNice tattooed on my arm for the fight.
Oh.
I don't know if I want to fight you anymore, ShoeNice.
I got Sharpie. I got little B on my other arm. People are like, "You're a racist." Yeah, I got an African American tattooed on my arm. I'm real racist.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, people will find something always.
Only racists have racist thoughts.
Wait, say that again?
Only racists have racist thoughts.
Racist thoughts, really. You know, if you're not racist, you really, I don't know. You don't think
That's
about
true.
it.
There's also the idea of like growing too. Like maybe you didn't realize something was racist, and then
You're
someone
growing marijuana. I don't want to hang out with drug dealers. Oh,
Yeah.
growing. Oh, I see, growing.
Yeah, growing inside. Growing like marijuana, but inside. But yeah, it's like there's that whole concept of growing inside, and there's some people who are bad about changing opinions and they just are abrasive, but there's some people with good points that even I, or I'm sure all of us, have been presented with. And then you're like, maybe I was racist, maybe I didn't realize something that I said, and there's that kind of racism, and that's like growing. But that's
a nice microphone right there, bro.
What's that?
He's got a nice microphone.
That's me.
That's me with a nice microphone.
No, I'm saying
You should do the intro.
him. How come we never see the third guy? Is he like the mysterious one?
He's like our dead mouse.
Warts.
I'll show you my face. You want to see my face?
How many people are here? 3, right?
There's just 3 of us.
Right.
Yeah, and you. But you got Hobart, who you just see a picture of. Sean, let us see your face.
Your face, and then there's the responsibility, you know, remembering you somewhere in public.
Sean, do a Joker impression for us.
Harvey.
Looks like we got an impression off right now.
Oh, baby.
Who's got the better one?
Here's Marge Simpson having sex with the Joker. I don't think that's my vagina you're licking, Jokey. well, we're going in today. I'm sorry, I got a hoarse voice.
Oh, come on. You're not performing at your best right now? That was pretty good.
No, that ain't my best. I need some.
I never thought I would hear a Joker Marge Simpson impersonation talking about eating coochie.
Marge Simpson,
That was awesome.
The Terminator? I don't think that's my pussy you're licking, Tommy. Go nuts, Sawakana. Get to the chopper. Oh, there he is. What's up, bro? Yo, who?
See, it's funny. You're calling me Hobart, but I'm repping Wisconsin right now. Go Badgers.
Oh, you're the Hobart pitcher?
Yeah, he's Hobart.
Hey, man, I like the purple ceiling, bro.
Thank you very much. It's my art studio.
Nice. It's got that patterned look.
Every wall's got a different color. We got green over there. We got some purple. We got some fucking wallpaper.
No, man. Me and my 2 brothers shared an exact bedroom like that, dude. Attic, top, flat, steep roof.
That's what we got. That's the setup.
Oh, you're all in the same room?
No.
Just
No.
us.
Eli and I are.
Who?
I'm over here. You see?
We're in the room. We're in the room across the hallway from you,
so
ShoeNice.
two people in that room in Denver, and that dude's back in the lake.
Yeah,
In
back in
Vermont.
Loserville.
Yeah.
Isn't it so weird? We're doing a podcast and we're 15 minutes down the road from each other.
I know.
You should have just met up.
I thought that was what was going to happen. To be honest, I
We
was
wanted
a little bummed.
to, but we're moving out of this place in the next 2 days, and it's chaotic. I didn't want you to see us like this, ShoeNice.
Dude, I got to empty out a storage, load up a truck. I got to tow a car all the way to Cali. I got to be there going to Vegas 2 nights, drop off the truck in Cali, and then I'm just Hollywood, dude. I'm just going to take over the strip, with H3 doing just stupid, human whatever.
So you're just gonna what? Go up to people and interview them, and
I'm gonna
and then
drop
what?
down on my hands and knees and lick the star, Jennifer Aniston, bro, without even.
Jennifer Aniston, you can find a better one.
I already did her, man. I already did her
Yeah.
star.
ShoeNice, you think you're ever gonna have a star on the Hollywood Strip?
I think Hollywood's a dead issue, bro. I really do think that whole movie scene, the new millennials, they don't want to spend $18 on buckets of popcorn, getting shot up. And I really do believe that this Netflix, Hulu, and everything, it's the perfect opportunity for somebody like me, because now so many people have that phone in their hand or that laptop and they're not doing the movies. They're watching a TV show or a series, and now all the movies come right to the phone. Same place where YouTube is. So I think I'm in a good place right now, and I just want a Netflix series, dude. I'll quit YouTube like that.
Yeah,
Sweet. Oh, that'd be
yeah,
great.
baby. Include us if you get a Netflix series.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a Frank Sinatra movie going, because I know I could play a good adult of him. You know what I mean? Stop spreading the news. I'm leaving today. You know what I mean?
Wow. I was going to ask if you knew any songs. That just came out organically.
I mean, I just always sing, bro. I've always been in chorus and stuff. I got a, angelic voice. 'Cause I knew you were trouble when you brought your kids. Hey, 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 hey. I knew you were trouble when you sold me mids. Now I'm picking up the goddamn seeds. Trouble.
Wow.
That's a great T-Swift.
Over the rainbow, Dorothy was a slut. Ran in a storm, picked up 3 guys, and fucked them along the way.
That was beautiful. I didn't know you had so much range.
Yeah, bro, I've been singing, I don't know. They call me the karaoke crackhead back in the day.
Really?
Another title to add to the list.
The karaoke crackhead.
And
the Messiah.
I didn't even smoke crack. I don't need that crazy shit. I'm already on that level. Yo, I never bought cocaine, never did heroin or anything like that. I mean, somebody threw out a line, dude. I was like a vacuum cleaner, but I never buy it. Is that called cheat?
So, ShoeNice, what's your favorite insult?
Your mama's so fat, when she falls down, ain't nobody laughing, but the sidewalk's cracking up.
Yo, mama jokes are classic.
No, that's not my. Some of my favorites are, come on, dude, your dick's so small, your girlfriend left you for your index finger on prom night in the limo. Oh, but if they're older, you can say, yeah, you got arrested for indecent exposure, and the judge lets you go due to lack of evidence.
It took me a second.
Quality.
These are
well
old,
thought
stupid
out.
ones, bro. I don't really use anything like that. I used to beat up people like you just to get to the fight back in the day.
Oh man, I think one of my favorites was a drunk me who I consider a different person.
Really?
I told one of my friends
I don't know
who's
what that's like.
yeah. But I was we were driving in the back of a car and he was saying something stupid, or probably not stupid to be honest, and I was just ratting on him, but I told him if he spent a year with the apes, he'd probably learn something.
That's by far my favorite. If you spent a year with the apes, you could learn something.
I'm sorry, that last word.
If you spent, all right, it might not be funny, but if you spent a year with the apes, you could probably learn something.
Oh. I see.
I just think
you're dumber
basically
than a
he's
monkey.
dumber than an ape.
As long as you weren't telling it to a bunch of apes, bro, No.
That's true. Yeah. Cheek, you got any good insults?
No, one of my friends and I were joking around one time, and he called me a bottom tax bracket bitch, and that kind of always stuck with me.
Whoa.
Oh, I
Making fun
remember
of
one.
income inequality.
I remember one. I use this sometimes with my haters in comments or in live stream. I'll be like, hey, bro, can you come pick up your mom? She shit so bad in an Uber last week, Lyft won't even come get her. I tried to pay a Grubhub pothead $100, and he said, hell no. Everybody know that stank ass. Everybody know that stank.
Oh, boy.
That really keeps bringing him in. Not even.
These are
That's
well
what I think
thought
about
out.
This guy looks like he's falling asleep, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
what's your
wake
deal?
up! Oh my gosh,
Ugh.
he's probably growing his own weed.
I was dreaming about spending time with apes.
I think
One of
they
my
did
favorites.
I think they did too many King Kong movies. You know what I mean? Should have left it alone. I don't know.
How many
Even
did
like
they
the
do?
Jack Black one?
I just don't like Rock. The Rock, he should have never redone Jumanji. Let that movie stay the way it was. They wrecked Jumanji, poor Robin Williams up in heaven. And then they did it again. I mean, it's just like, it's Kevin Hart and The Rock. Kevin Hart and The Rock. He's got TV shows. I don't know, man. It's just, how do they make all them movies in 1 year?
I don't know. He's the biggest. The Rock is the biggest movie star alive right now, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's the highest paid.
He's a bad mofo too, man. He can fight.
Yeah, he's big. He would put a
Do you
hole through my
see-
chest with his head.
Did you see that Instagram video recently where he's working out with PK Subban and he's like showing PK Subban some exercise, who's like a real famous hockey player?
I follow him. I must have missed it because I follow him on Instagram and TikTok. I'm blowing up on TikTok. I'm almost at 100,000 followers.
Woo! Hey,
I think we got to get on
congratulations.
TikTok.
It used to be a
What's that,
cheesy app, but now everybody, the whole world's on it, man. That's why they didn't shut it down. But I mean, China and U.S. go to war. I think U.S. is going to try and buy their counterpart, and just so it's all just the USA now. And because there's too many.
Have you heard the conspiracy behind TikTok?
I know everything about TikTok, dude. I knew when it was Musically, and it was like 5,000 people on the app, dude.
Cheek, don't try to tell Chris about TikTok.
Well, it's a little sketchy because it's owned by this Chinese company that is required by Chinese law to any data mining that happens from the app, they have to give back to the Chinese government. Cool. And when you sign up for the app, you're agreeing that the TikTok app can data mine your phone for a lot of different information. And so China just has all this fucking sitting on all this information on us.
Yeah. But,
hey, so bro, what? Like my email?
You know what? I tell you what, I like bad credit. It protects me from identity theft. You ain't getting shit with my social security number.
That's what I always say. I'm in debt. You want to take my identity? Go ahead. You're going to hit a landmine.
Well, the issue, I guess, is like...
Do my Google search and you'll see I watch YouTube videos and Eskimo porn. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, once you get big enough...
Like all of us.
Your identity's online anyways.
Yeah, now the aliens are here, so now the Pentagon knows that, and they're going to try and tell humanity about all these vehicles that aren't from planet Earth, obviously. So now all this paperwork and data and everything is coming out, because they realize that, yeah, man, these people are just going to show up like the movie Independence Day. Will Smith's going to roll out of bed with bad breath saying, what?
Yeah, well...
That's another one that shouldn't have been remade.
Independence Day?
Yeah, they made like the second Independence Day that was trash compared to the first one.
Why don't
There's supposed to be like 3
Why don't you guys put us all in the blocks?
We are in the blocks. You got to put yourself in the blocks.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Late to the party.
Yeah.
Because I keep seeing the lake, the dude falling asleep, and then I hear your voice.
If you move the page over, you can see all of us at the same time.
Go like
what was my name?
I'm on a phone.
Oh, you're on a phone. Swipe left and right.
I did it. I'm like, this isn't the Zoom I'm used to. What's up with this picture of a lake?
The phone is sketchy. Stop looking at Lake. He's the last one you want to look at.
Come on.
Oh, warts.
I'm out of here.
But how many podcasts do you guys do a week? Or
We do one a week. We all have other jobs. We just, especially during COVID, we wanted to kind of kick in another, just something to be creative about, and we started liking it. We actually did 5 before we released our first episode, just to kind of get out the kinks because we're virtual.
This is like the Brady Bunch now, right?
It is with all the squares.
Everybody look around at each other. Here's the story.
We got to get
Alice
a screenshot of that.
Man. Alice was the pig.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we get video for our podcast.
You guys aren't old enough, man, but back in the day before porn and shit, the Brady girls, the girls from Facts of Life, the chick that used Jane Fonda workout Sunday mornings. My father caught me rubbing the glass breast of the Mrs. Buttersworth syrup bottle, bro.
I'm more of an Aunt Jemima guy myself.
He's had to wait
Nothing's been the same ever since.
Flyer to come in the mail.
Regular porn just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, I need physical porn. Rob Stone.
I'll be on Tosh again soon.
Tosh.0?
Yeah, Where Are They Now segment, but they wanted to let me build back up, and now I got my check mark back and everything. They hate YouTube, so they're gonna like bust the balls and make me look all like Kingpin. Like Twitch bling bling, and I'm not even on Twitch.
I didn't realize that show was still going on.
Yeah,
neither did I.
I'm perma-banned from Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, but I'm trying to behave. I just put my ID in. I'm promoting through spending money. You just give them $10, and they'll put your video out on Facebook to about 20,000 people. Spend $100, 200,000, and my Instagram is just blowing up. There's views left and right, and I should have done it a while ago. But I mean, I never had the money. I'm making good money with Cameo, so I'm taking some money earned and putting it back into the biz because I need 1 million followers on Instagram. That Steve will do it, has 2 million, and he copied my whole career, and he won't even give me a shout out.
What? I'm taking him down.
Yo, I'm going to Cali so I can knock right on their door. They love me. They wanted me to join up. I'm like 51 years old. I ain't going to hang out with a bunch of cokeheads in a gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate gym heads.
I hate Jackass
heads,
crew?
I hate gym heads, man. I used to like, fighting with a bunch of gym heads. They think they're all bad because everybody's jaw breaks the same.
Yeah.
Especially with a fist third the size of your face.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys fish heads, man? And you guys like Fish or Grateful Dead music?
Oh, no.
I'm a big fish head.
Me neither.
You are ringing my bell.
I used to just go to the parking lots to trip on acid and shit. I can't name one song, but I went to every tour. Yo.
Oh, cheek.
I was on CNN actually doing nitrous at Woodstock 2 in 1994. They asked me what I was in line for. I said nitrous, like the dentist gas. And they said, well, can we videotape you filming it? An hour later, I'm coming out with my 2 balloons. Here's CNN. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy, man. What show was that, dude? What show was that?
That was this is just a Rolling Stones or Grateful Dead Ultimate Guide Rolling Stone edition that I just picked up from the
pick up the Spin. Hey, pick up the 1994 Spin magazine issue, December. I was in it crawling through the mud in Woodstock 2. Spin magazine took a picture of me. I was shrooming my face off, covered in fucking it was just a river of shit and mud and just nastiness.
You are a real life Forrest Gump.
The Spin magazine photographer told me it was the best picture he ever took and was put into a Spin magazine. It was incredible, man. You got to see that one.
You still go to fish shows?
No, they haven't been around where I've been living, but if there's one, I'll go to it. I'll
Yeah.
still eat mushrooms at 51, but no acid.
They've been playing in Colorado the past summer for the past like 10 years.
That's me.
They played Dick's Sporting Goods.
That's me. I've been there the last 6 times.
Yeah.
I showed up one time, dude, on the RTD bus, man. There was no cars there yet. I thought the show was moved or canceled. It just the campers couldn't come in until 4:30. And then it was just like, psh.
Everyone just poured in.
I like that whole scene of just that whole community of people getting along and just, they're, maybe haven't showered in 30 days and give you a bagel with dirty fingerprints on it, but they're good people.
Yeah,
absolutely. I've been to a ton of those shows. I've seen Fish probably like 6 or 7 times. I've seen Dead and Company 3 times. I love going to those shows.
I seen Grateful Dead, dude, live, man, and it was a trip, dude. I could understand
with Jerry still.
What?
When Jerry was still alive?
Yeah, man. I seen Jerry die on a bar. I was at a bar and they showed Jerry dead, and they showed his years of living and dying. I was like, I hope that's how long he's been touring, because I just hooked up with a dentist and had nitrous tanks, and we were going to make thousands of dollars, and he passed away. But yeah, I seen him with Jerry, dude. I seen the actual Grateful Dead.
That's sick.
Wow. You planning on writing a memoir at any time, Shoe? Or
I have an Audible coming out in about 3 days, actually. It'll be on Amazon. You can just sit back and listen to me tell my life story. But there's also these filmmakers in 2021. They're doing a whole ShoeNice movie, and we're going to put that up in like the documentary category at the Oscars, if there's even Oscars anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, how hard is it to
see my Vice documentary?
Yeah, we all watched it.
Well, that went to Viceland TV, and they show that on TV all the time, and I'm supposed to get paid for that. That's called syndication rights. So they owe me. They didn't even buy me a Ford Loco when we did the whole goddamn documentary.
Really? Those cheapos.
My priorities. All right, I'll sign the waiver, but can you guys buy me a Ford Loco? You ain't got so the 4 of you ain't got no cash. You just drove 3 hours to a hotel. How are you going to eat? We got a company card. Well, I'm part of the company.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that documentary was when you tried
away because they wouldn't buy me one, but then I said, it'll be some.
Oh, I'm glad you did.
My favorite part of that documentary was when it was freezing cold and you tried running into Lake George when it was in the middle of the winter and you couldn't dunk in. You couldn't dunk the head under.
Yeah, I know. That was weak. Dude. I should have went all the way, man. That was weak.
Life's biggest regrets.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. What else was funny? Oh, the funny thing about that is that we were pretending to be friends. Me and that Glaze dude, we met at the diner. Hey,
yeah.
The night before, he was trying to kill me with chunks of ice in the parking lot, throwing them through my hotel window. Because I threw him out. He was acting all crazy. And I said, dude, you got to go sleep in your car. But I didn't realize he locked the keys in it. So he had to break his window. He just hated me the next day. With Vice already signed him up to be in the show. So we had to act all buddy. I'll kill you after this.
What?
Hey,
insider scoop.
But it was cool.
So the guy was just being loud and obnoxious?
See, that's what keeps you going on YouTube. Is like long after I'm gone, you're still going to have these just old syndications of H3H3 and Tosh.0 show, and they still show my World's Dumbest. There's always somebody coming in going, hey, just seen you on World's Dumbest, part 14. And I'm like, that was made 8 years ago. And so, I mean, people just love it, man. The producers, if they love a guy, they're going to keep repeating that episode because there's thousands of them. And they only repeat like maybe 100 to 150. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I mean, but I tell you what, TV is just so fake. It's just so fake, man. And they got these masses believing like lizard lick towing. Nobody's getting towed. It's all actors.
Yeah.
The whole thing is acting. I was the only guy that got his car towed on South Beach Tow. They see me coming down. My girlfriend at the time got the car towed twice, parking in the loading zone. So I'm going back down again to pay $180 in South Beach, Miami. This dude's like, yo, you're ShoeNice from True World's Dumbness. We're True TV. We're doing a show here. You want to be on it? I said, give me $50. He's like, here. So yeah, I'm the only, you can type in ShoeNice on South Beach Tow on YouTube. And I'm the only guy that was ever on that show with an actual car in the tow yard. Everything else is acting. Porn star.
Really?
Yeah, all the porn stars, all them items are lined up for the whole season. And they're never going to be sold. They're just items people are showing. So the people on the TV show go, wow, look at that. And then it's never going to be sold. They go back and forth with Chumley or whatever. All right, I'm taking it home. And like they're never at the shop. But where they film isn't even part of the actual. I mean, it just goes on and on. Every show is just scripted. The Bachelor, the Bachelorette.
It's probably the same thing with all those like Real Housewives and Kardashian shows and all that bullshit reality TV.
Yeah, they add stories to it. You know, they make it, but some of that's that's the way the Kardashians live. I mean, but that's just like that's a lot of money they're going to be losing when the Kardashians leave because a network only has that show that brings them millions and millions of dollars of revenue. It's just like Breaking Bad when it was on AMC or what was it, AMC?
Yeah.
They made a ton of money off of that, a ton of money. A channel gets just lucky. A TV channel is just like any other business. It's a group of people sitting around trying to get advertisers to come in on the shows, and that literally changed AMC now.
I'm sure.
Am I rambling on too much? I'll go take some more hits.
Yeah, well, take more hits, but you are not rambling off too much.
I do.
I probably got like 10 more minutes because I'm actually in the process of moving, and I got some people coming over. But yeah, man, I can stop back another time too.
Hey, we'd love to have you back.
Make it like a monthly or buy it, maybe every 3 months. I don't want to burn me out.
Dude.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you as much as you'd love to be on. But yeah, we'd love to talk about you about anything. And if you have to go, let us know anytime. We have another segment we'll cover, but if you have to bow out.
Amen.
Well,
what's the other segment?
The other segment is the whole nother topic. We have a whole nother topic, and it's basically about leadership and what makes good leaders. We like to cover things that we're just kind of like curious about in the week. And one thing that's just been coming up to me is that like, what are the qualities that people see in a good leader? Because there's a lot of people who think they're good leaders because they're confident or egotistical or really strong on their opinions. And truthfully, it doesn't make them that way.
Yes.
And so I looked into that.
Well, I think that every good leader always has to, tend to almost everybody's need in some way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just.
I think you're right.
It's almost like Lord of the Flies,
Yeah, I get that.
You got a group of people all astray, and then you got one person that comes in and just because that person just made the first statement of this is what we have to do. A lot of people are just sheep, They'd rather be followers than the actual.
Well, that's one of the big things that I saw when I was doing a lot of research is that a good leader has to be willing to be a good follower at the same time. And a good leader is nothing without good followers.
Right.
Because if you have troublemakers or people that are trying to represent their own ideas and interests without thinking about the team, then that's going to dismantle it.
Little rascals.
Yeah.
Like Lord of the Flies. You get all those spin-offs and people start melting down and there's pigs on sticks. That happens when you have
every lead, you got to take the situation at hand, This is what's going on, to have a leader.
Working with the flow.
Situation. I have my hate group. They were 30 strong. They had their own Google Hangout. They would all go in and just like all my videos with like 30 or 40 different fake accounts. So I would just get flooded with dislikes, which hurts a YouTube video. And they had their little leader, and everything he said they would do. And, because they were losers, they were toothless drunks, and they were accepted by these other drunks, and they thought they had a purpose in life. We're going after ShoeNice. We know he doesn't rape kids, but we're going to tell everybody he does. And then the main guy gets caught with child porn. Irony,
how could you be more ironic?
The irony in that.
I used to beat up pedophiles in jail serving time for punching cops in the face, man. You know what I mean? I bet that's just the devil's children right there. Don't ever quote me that. It's YouTube, Say my videos suck. Say my mother smells like, a tuna foot long from Subway. Don't fucking sit there and say I rape kids because you don't like my YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, the amount of effort someone has to put in to that just to hate you for no reason is incredible to me. That doesn't make any sense. It's like, what are you doing every day? What do you really just need to fixate on someone? Like maybe you got this idea a couple days before he did, and he's really salty about it. Maybe he was just about to eat a whole thing of caulk, and then, but you did it the day before.
I mean, I've just literally called people names, and they've held on to this grudge forever, man. Two of my main haters, both their fathers murdered somebody. So maybe it's in the gene to just be a jerk when your dad kills people. But it's not funny. But literally, he's destroyed people's lives. I had one hater go against another hater. They hated each other, and he would call his work every day and just bother the employees. So they said, sorry, we got to fire you, man. And I mean, he's changed people's lives, and it's over YouTube. I mean, it's just like nobody came into his house, raped his grandmother and stole his antique car. It's literally from people talking in comments. And they've cast this whole, dark shadow over ShoeNice, but I've broken through that dark, and they hate it, man. I got my check mark back. I'm getting a job with H3. The haters hate me succeeding. They wrote to my Cameo, the bosses at Cameo, and they showed me the malicious emails on and on about this. And, they're sitting there saying, this guy's a registered sex offender. And they're like, you're not a registered. I know that. But they just want to catch you for that 1 second to believe that. And then they got glory for the day. If he can get two people to think I'm some evil person, and then they find out later I'm not, he's still got his glory for the day. It's evil, man.
Right.
I got people that I cannot run into physically because they just want to kill me, man. It's just weird. I've had hundreds of death threats, and I've beaten them all.
Well, hell yeah. And you've clearly figured out how to deal with haters. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. I think some people...
It gets to them.
They hear these haters, and it gets to them, and it tears them apart, and they feed into it, and it just gives the haters exactly what they want,
Okay, now Hobart's being weird, man. He's staring at me from the lake again. No, I'm just kidding.
Hobart's back. Oh,
Hogarth.
Back.
Yeah,
what happened to you, Sean?
But there's other people out there. I mean, I'm such a minimal person to the YouTube world now, rebuilding, and my hater group is just we're not even relevant to anything. I mean, there's YouTubers out there that just have thousands of haters and dislikes. And I've been to war and back. I mean, I almost died over in Desert Storm. I mean, this internet shit is like playing Chutes and Ladders. It's a joke to me. I laugh the time ripping on people. And once I know that I can get up under your skin and you're a dick, because I never start any argument, and it's always in the comments. And look at this fat fucking piece of shit. I say, come pick up your mom. It turns into an email. I'm going to talk about my mom. I said, come find me. Here's my address. Make a video. Email me when you're at the McDonald's on Baseline Road in Boulder. That's where I used to live, and I'll fight you.
Yeah.
That is badass.
Well, that's a testament to what you're talking about there is like how you're saying you've been to war, and I was talking about this in a different scale with some friends at home, and just like how people get so caught up in their tiny little worlds, and they think that these micro interactions are really significant and mean the world to them, and they have to hate you, and they get dialed in on it. But like, even if you just travel the world, and just see other people's lives, or even to another step, going to a war and seeing people die and suffering, you also realizing and get this perspective that this crap doesn't matter. Your little comment on YouTube doesn't matter to me at all. And it's that kind of thick skin you need to be you.
People got to realize, too, in the modern world, you don't even know how good you have it. People complain about their iPhone bill and, oh, my parents won't let me do this. You got all these, white chicks dancing on TikTok in front of these fucking $2 million mansions. And you got some kid walking 2 miles in a third world country to get dirty water for the family every day. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it really is. That's why
I'd like to see you do a TikTok dance.
Tampons for toddlers. That's what I joined YouTube, and they were like, "What are you doing this for, man?" And I think it was web soup, and I was like, "It's tampon. I'm eating tampons to save the toddlers of Africa." And the dude was like, "That's the most amazing thing I ever heard in my life." That was my first episode. My first TV appearance was web soup with that Joe McCall that's on everything, and he's like, "Obviously, his eyes were bigger than his vagina." I was eating 3 tampons. That's still on YouTube too, man. That's still on YouTube too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have a Twitter at all anymore, right? Do you?
I just got banned. I was building up to 4,500. I go into like popular people like Howie Mandel. He blocked me twice. I just like ripping on crybabies, And he told me.
Yeah. That's the satisfaction you need. That's the only reason social media is good for. Just breaking people a little bit.
Yeah, I've been blocked by Joe Rogan, Miley Cyrus, her father, Howie Mandel, and his son, the whole Kardashian family.
Just because you like chirping at them.
That's not an entire loss.
After I was on the show, he goes, "I don't do selfies. I grab them and I take a picture." They love me in that studio. They wanted me to work. And the dude was like, "Yo, don't post this on Twitter until the episode airs." I wasn't even off the plane back in Denver, man. I posted that shit and he blocked me.
Tosh.0 did?
Yeah, after I was on the show.
Some people are so uptight about that stuff. Those big studios need everything to be under their control.
See, back in the day, back in the day before the internet, people's opinions didn't get around. You got a newspaper and you read one person's opinion, the Dear Abby or whatever column. And that was the only opinion you ever heard or read about in life, I mean, people didn't, when you banged a chick on a Friday night at a party, nobody even knew about it till the following Friday,
Yeah, exactly.
It's just everything is all in there and at you, and it's just I think it's just too much for them. The minds that were already angry, just people were just born with that. It's the gingers, man, the Irish freckled guys. They turn all red.
Oh,
Cheek, is that you?
I'm
Don't hate
Irish.
on the
I'm
freckles.
Irish. I'm actually Irish.
Cheek, you seem like you're getting heated up over that right now.
No, I'm all good. I'm about love and peace, Jay.
Yeah.
You guys, I can read somebody in a second. Sometimes I get interviews, and these guys are just so arrogant, and you guys are laid back, and that's why I'll come back to you. Other people
Appreciate it.
You know what I mean? They're just everything's got to be perfect. Oh, you got to have the right head. Shut up! I'll throw this headphone at your head.
Yeah, shut up.
Hey, man. But I'm gonna bust out of here. I gave you guys a good 90 minutes. I'm glad that we were able to finally get this done. And definitely, man, I love return calls, dude. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Thank you very much, ShoeNice.
We'll give you some time off from us, let you refresh and clear your mind of the things that we
I'll share this everywhere. And all I like to say to my haters, don't dislike this video. You don't even know these guys.
You don't even know us. You don't even know us.
Screw you, jackass.
Hey,
all right,
thanks,
you guys. Peace out, man. It's nice seeing you, man.
Love you, ShoeNice.
Have a good day, Chris. Thanks.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Hey, all right. So you guys want to take a pee break and then dial back in?
I'm busting out.
All right. Your bladder's beeping.
I'm squirting like a water fountain.
Welcome back.
We just littled our piddles, and we're back. And we lost Shoe on purpose. He ran out of time, but hopefully he'll be back.
Sayonara.
And I mean, I just gotta say thanks to Shoe if he ever listens to the second half. It was really nice of him to be on. Sounds like he might promote some of our stuff, which is cool. And he just seemed like a good guy with good intentions. That got a lot of bad publicity. Oh, there it comes. I can't talk anymore. But yeah, so thanks, Shoe. That was super nice of you. We enjoyed talking to you. Yeah.
Loved hearing all your stories. That was crazy. Love the nicknames, Crackhead Karaoke, Human Ashtray, The Messiah, Forrest Gump. That was all quality.
I'm pretty sure he deemed himself a messiah.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah. He was like, I'm pretty sure I'm a messiah.
He has pretty big plans for himself, so I support him.
Yeah.
I'm following him.
Support him.
He's
Good luck
got
to all the
Robin Williams in his
endeavors.
soul.
I forgot about
Can't
that.
Can't wait to see him kiss Jennifer Aniston's Hollywood star.
Lick. He's gonna lick
A
it
lick, not kiss. My bad.
with his
Even
callous
more excited.
tongue
Yeah, with his leathery tongue.
from cigars. Ooh, cheek. You know this is going on YouTube,
Bow,
right?
bow.
Oh,
We're going to have to pixelate that for the premium content.
Should we take our shirts off for YouTube?
pixelate my tiny nipples.
Pretty sure you're now a child pornographer, cheek.
Because he's a child.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess we got into the discussion of leadership. Do you mind cutting back to that for a little bit? We haven't really covered a full topic in like 2 or 3 episodes.
No.
We're bad at that. I mean, I don't think we're ever gonna have to expect that from guests. I think it's good to have topic ideas for guests. Maybe we'll learn what kind of topics to bring up with them.
Yeah.
But we just have to get used to the fact that probably not going to get through them because we always end up having too much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Leadership.
Basically, I guess what I was thinking about, and I don't want to target any specific. What is wrong with me today? Specific leaders right now, but I have always thought that the people that deserve power are the ones who don't seek it. I think that
like the Jon Snow type figures.
The Jon Snow type figures. That's exactly it. I was gonna say that too, Ian. But yeah, it's and like the people who can gain leadership without any imbalance of power, those are the true leaders. Like if you have no semblance of authority and people listen and follow you, kind of like the Captain Americas of the group. I know you don't like Captain America. I know you think he's a hardo, but he has probably he does have the least powers out of just about anyone in the Avengers, and they follow him because of his ideals, and he's balanced. But I would say something that a really good leader would have over Captain America is that he's a better listener to the group. You know,
Yeah.
Captain America's kind of stubborn.
You get a lot of, in history, those people who are power hungry and their goal is just, I want to be somebody.
Yeah.
And they don't really have any intentions there for benefiting people other than themselves.
I want to get money. I want to have power. It's like those are the goals that lead to a malicious.
You get like
leader.
those Agamemnon figures
Yes.
versus like an Achilles guy.
Achilles!
Now that's a good leader. And he doesn't want it. He doesn't give a fuck about any of that. That's always good.
That's true. He just seeks he doesn't even seek glory really. Maybe in the
Kinda,
afterlife.
Yeah, because when he's talking, we're just going off of the movie, which I don't know how accurate it is, but
Yeah.
when he's talking to like his mom or something, she's like, you can go to war and ages will remember your name, or you can stay at home and have like beautiful families, but history won't remember you.
It's the choice between personal glory and eternal glory, you know, like having that beautiful life on the farm with a picket fence or slaughtering people in the most badass of ways and decapitating sun god statues.
Yeah.
Like that is
The spear throat.
Yeah.
You gotta get a reenactment of that when we got the green screen.
I mean, I own that movie on Amazon Prime. I'm thinking that might be the watch of the night.
For the 100th time.
Oh man, we really have to, when we do start employing the movie nights, like it would be so easy just to turn on a camera and just watch movies right after this while we're hammered.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, half of it would be Cheek asleep and me asleep and E staying up to watch the movie. But regardless, I don't know, Cheek, what makes up a leader to you? I think I asked him right when he lost Wi-Fi.
Nah, he's just fixing the video.
Oh, you're just fixing it?
Good looks, mostly.
Yeah.
Good looks, handsome fellas.
Good looks is big for me. Good teeth, good hair, good set of hair.
Nice jowls.
Good sets of hairs.
Good face symmetry. You can never trust a guy who's got a little bit too much to one side.
Nose. You don't trust me, Cheek?
That's why I don't trust you.
Fair enough. Solid fiber intake sound like something he would value.
That's actually a thing. Is in a bunch of Disney movies, they'll make the evil character look evil by giving
less
them
symmetrical.
Less symmetrical.
Even just a scar, like in Lion King, I read that somewhere that like they put that for the imbalance. I mean, not to mention the implications of having scars, but I don't know, Cheek. Give me real leadership values. Do you really want someone with a good diet of fiber and good looks to be your leader? A John Stamos, perchance?
Oh my God, John Stamos. I'd support him. No, I think you were right on the money with a good leader is a good listener and has the ability to, be able to not only, voice his opinion well and strong and, be that charismatic and have that personality type. But the best leaders are people who can definitely take a step back and listen to the things of their followers or their subjects or whoever, they're supposed to be in charge of, and hearing their voiced opinions and like taking what the people want and being able to implement that in his own leadership or her own leadership. I think that's definitely one of the most important things. And I think that a lot of times leaders probably lose sight of that, especially, in today's politics and whatnot. I think that a lot of people get into the business for their own personal glory and forget that they're supposed to be representing a whole community or state or section of people. And the reason you're there to lead them is to help them lead the lives and live in the sorts of communities that they want to. And I feel like we don't have a whole lot of that these days.
Well, it's because it's made the way you attain power now requires too much to make it just an average Joe, someone who deserves it,
Yeah, you have to cut corners and cheat people if you want to get to the top.
Step on some fingers and toes.
Penises. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just interesting. I think I was reading a lot about what makes, because like at first I was like thinking of a leader as pick person in power and what makes that person a good leader. And then it became more interesting to find out, how do leaders get created when there's a levelness of power? Like everyone has equal stakes, equal rule over each other. How does a leader emerge in that instance? And it's basically just from empathy, common thinking, and good listening. It's funny because you look these things up and you're like, what makes a leader? And 9 out of 10 articles are like the Forbes type article. It's like
10 things you need to know.
Yeah, how to be a boss, or like how to like get ahead in your finance career type of thing, where it's like be strong on your opinion, make quick decisions, like listen to other people, and like some of those things are right, but a lot of them I think that are still caught up in like an antiquated feeling of like you got to be strong and confident and make your decisions. And like, I don't think no matter what job you have, that a good boss is necessarily just those things. I truly believe that a good boss, a good leader, a good parent, I think it applies to a lot of things, involves someone who can listen to you and is willing to admit they don't know everything, is willing to change their mind if they're proven wrong, doesn't have a huge ego, that kind of thing.
I
Yeah,
think openness
admitting when you're
and
wrong.
willingness to change your mind about something is huge. Like having that ability to listen to somebody, listen to a different opinion in an argument, and then be able to realize, well, maybe I am wrong. Let's talk about this and change whatever. You know, I feel like so many people are so divided and so minds made up about whatever, and they're just unwilling to hear the other side or potentially change their mind. I think that is such a big thing right now, is the ability to have openness and the willingness to listen to somebody who's maybe smarter than you and then take their advice and change your mind on something.
Because you're told for so long to be a leader that you have to be strong and like opinionated and like have the right thing, and that works in some situations, but like if you really truly want to be a good leader, you have to be able to meld ideas. You have to take commonalities from one group of people into another and meld them and tell them how they're similar. You also have to be able to, like we were talking about, like be able to realize that times change, people change. You're one person. You're not going to have everything right. Your goal has to be like a mutual best. You know, you can't do that on your own.
With the ideas changing, a lot of people get attached to their ideas because it's a part of who they are and they relate it to their ego. And so when someone challenges you on something that you believe and you're thinking about how it's so important and tied to you, you are like defending yourself and you're defending an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so that shuts you down to being open to new ideas. So I agree, Cheek, that is one of the most important qualities
That's a
you
good
can have.
way to look at that. You're like, rather than looking at yourself as tied to a perspective, you should tie yourself to the idea of flexibility.
Right. And like searching for the greatest solution.
Yeah. If your ideal is to be ideal, then that creates a stronger base. That's something in my business that a lot of like setting up your PPC campaign type thing is all based on being good at pay-per-click and marketing, which is kind of stupid, is based on analyzing data and reacting to that. Mm-hmm. And so being a good PPC marketer is based on setting your base up in a way that allows you to be flexible. Because if you just stick with a plan and you're heading for a cliff and you're being stubborn and sticking to that, you're going to drive off that cliff. Where if you set it up to be flexible, and I'm sure it's got to be that with everything.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's like,
when times change, you change with them.
Yeah. I'm a big believer of that black and white is a dangerous feeling, and that goes close with principles and people who put their foot down
stubborn
on principles and stuff like that. And it's just like, there's no such thing as black and white. There's no, unless we're talking about literally math,
or checkers
or horseshoes and hand grenades,
ladder ball,
fireball,
ladder
ball. Then there's nothing you can do but admit that there are two sides to an argument. So that made me think of something though. If you're so for people willing to change their ideals, I feel like a lot of people shit on politicians who move on the spectrum of where they are, whether they went from medium
changing
to liberal or middle ground to Republican or whatever, to appease the masses. Wouldn't that be kind of what we're talking about? But I don't know. I'm not saying either of you guys disagree with that, but I would argue that that's exactly what we're saying. They should be able to change, so changing isn't a bad thing.
I think that you need to be able to acknowledge your faults when you're wrong, and then be able to change your mind on a subject if you're moving in the right direction, you know, and you shouldn't get shit on for that. Like, you know, maybe I don't know anyone, but like, I'm sure there are tons of politicians out there in the past who were against gay marriage 20 or 30 years ago, who listened to the masses and changed their mind and are like, yeah, like gay marriage should be completely legalized. Like, what's the big deal here? Like,
yeah.
You know,
and then someone will bring up something from their past about how they used to hate gay marriage. And it's like, what's the use in this? They changed for the better. Why are you shaming them for having that view in the first place?
Yeah. Those attempts to like discredit people's character are just so harmful to like progress. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Democrats do it more than Republicans, I think. I think that's because right now there's a Republican president who happens to be a bird of graveyard. But I'm sure it goes the other way too, but we are very critical of things Trump used to say and now that he's switched to. I do hate Trump just like the rest of the people, but I think when someone's in power, the opposite side is really quick to start trying to discredit their arguments with old things. But there are so many people out there that are like, oh, I'm not going to vote for this person. 10 years ago, they thought this thing, and now they think this thing. They're not true to their beliefs. It's like, well, isn't an elected official's job to follow the popular opinion? Like, that's their job. There's no way that you're going to find someone that finds the popular opinion and hits it right on the mark their whole career. Mm-hmm. That's an improbable belief. Honestly, I would rather see someone who moved more than less, someone who was actually moving actively and was less slow to change, Mm-hmm.
Unless you're Bernie and you just believe the right way and everything since the beginning.
Well, that's the thing. I was thinking about that too. Like, Bernie would hit his wave in these last couple elections because he stuck to it. He believed a certain set of values when no one else believed in it. Wasn't that popular until these last two elections, where finally that side of like popular beliefs kind of met up with him. And so that's where he hit his wave. Unfortunately, he was almost too good at what he believed in and couldn't get the backing of the DNC and things like that, which just kind of sucks. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of sketchy stuff that happens with Bernie and people that are propped up by the DNC. Like the whole thing that Elizabeth Warren didn't drop out until after two of the Super Tuesday, and then the next one happened, and then she dropped out, even though she definitely wasn't going to win. A little sketch because she knew she was
took away
taking from
votes
his vote.
from Bernie. Yeah,
exactly. I read a Wash Post article one time that was like, it was basically like, we'll tell you who you align with in your beliefs the most if you just tell us where you lie on these issues. And you would go through, and it was like...
Oh, that's cool. I bet a bunch of people were switched up by that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's because they manipulated a lot. It's a cool idea, but there'll never be an unbiased one of those, I don't think. But there were times where it was like choose where you lie on gun issues or whatever. And it would put Bernie and Elizabeth Warren on other... But if you voted other, it would give the point to Elizabeth Warren, but not Bernie. Ooh. And there was like a bunch like that where it was like if you agreed in the middle, they would interpret Bernie's as no and interpret Elizabeth Warren's as other, and they'd count it for her. So at the end of it, if you agreed, they're virtually the same issues. The two of them believe virtually the same issues. But by the end of the Wash Times article, you would think that you believed in Elizabeth Warren more because it didn't count Bernie in those issues.
This is the Washington Post that released this?
Washington Post, yeah. Sorry, I said Wash Times. But
that makes sense.
And I remember going through it with our girlfriend, all three of our collective girlfriend, and I was just like, this is cool. This is a cool tool. And then we go through, and it's like, Bernie wasn't even in my top 3. And I was like, well, how did that happen? I looked through and they're starting to count Elizabeth Warren as the others and Bernie as no's, and just kind of like edging him out because they basically knew the questions that you would agree on with Bernie and Elizabeth Warren, and was trying to like credit her out. And I wonder how many people that influenced, because there's a lot of uneducated Democratic voters, just like they're on both sides, who just look at that and then they say, okay, well, that's probably true. I should look into Elizabeth Warren more,
That's a sly move on the Washington Post side.
I have no proof to say whether or not that's actually true. It could be a conspiracy theory, but to me, it was a little suspect.
So who are some of your favorite leaders
I was gonna ask that.
From history, not necessarily just real, but like fictional from movies or stories or things like that. Do you guys have any people that stand out for you?
Rasputin.
The guy that never refuses
he
to
didn't have
die.
any power. He just had influence.
Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen.
Is that the DDR dance?
Dude, I've listened to that song. I sent you guys
That's
that
the one he sent
song
us.
in our group chat,
Yeah.
and I've listened to that probably twice a day for the past week. It gets better and better every time I listen to it.
Love it. Especially with the little dancing animation they made for it.
Aruba taka puka taka.
That's a good question. What comes to mind, good and bad, is Band of Brothers. Is it Band? Yeah, Band of Brothers.
Oh, great call. Yeah.
Where you have like Ross from Friends, who's awful leader, who is just like selfish, doesn't want to die, and in turn causes other people to die. And then you have that great leader. I forget the name. The guy who literally just charges behind enemy lines, and was it like the Nazis don't even believe what's happening, so they don't even shoot him because like no way someone would be that dumb to run right into us.
Right.
Forget his name.
I don't remember either, but that was one of the qualities that was listed a lot that I agreed with. That was like, you have to be willing to put up the poop if you're going to expect other people to put that poop up too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like,
Walk the walk.
why would anyone, because there's so many know-it-all leaders who are like, I know how to do it. Let's see if you know how to do it, you know? Or the guys that like let you wash the dishes and they say, you're so good at it, I want to see you do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mark Twaining people.
Another good one is Hunger Games. I just watched that movie series.
When? This week?
Yeah, this
You think
past week.
Katniss is a good leader, or are you talking
Katniss,
about
as in like was it like the
symbol?
head of the rebel group wants to use her as like propaganda and like stay back during the fights and all that, but she is in line with her values, and you know she doesn't want to be this like piece of propaganda, and so she'll talk the talk and walk the walk and actually put herself in danger for her beliefs.
I believe that.
respect?
Yeah. Way to go, Katniss Everdeen. Woman of the trees.
Woman of the trees. How about you, Cheek?
I think back to the movie Miracle. Coach from Miracle, I think is great because
Why?
he was such a hard ass of a leader, and like he did a great job of not telling the team what he was trying to teach them, and then like having them realize what they needed to realize on their own, even though he was just kicking their ass the whole time. Like the scene where they're doing suicides from line to line, blowing the whistle again. He's like, who do you play for? And he's like, Mike Ruzioni. I play for the United States of America. Like he wanted them to learn that, you know, what you're doing and who you are is a part of this team is greater than yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And he could have easily just come out and told them that, but he didn't. He like kicked their asses and worked them to the bone until they finally realized. And I think that the way he did that was really powerful and probably resonated with them a lot more, as opposed to if he just, you know, had told them. And then there's the other thing too, when later in the movie, they're building the Olympic team and he brings in the guy from the Rangers to play with them. And the rest of the team's like, fuck that guy. He hasn't been practicing with us. He hasn't gone through the same shit. And the coach is like, that guy's been practicing with the Islanders. Like he's been working just as hard. And the team's like, he's not a part of our family. Like we don't want him here. And the coach was like, all right, it's your call. Like this is the team you want to go to Lake Placid with. That's who we'll go with. And he was willing to listen to the team and what they wanted and respect what they wanted. And I mean, I think that coach is all-time coach. I mean, for me, I think of leaders as coaches or captains is, you know, that sort of person in my experience.
Yeah. I would say that's especially the note you made about you can't tell someone how to feel. You have to teach them how to feel if you want them to feel your way. It's almost like a parenting tip right there, is where like you can't be like, oh, this is gonna be a mistake if you do it. You have to let them make that mistake first, so they can learn on their own. And in this case, you wanted them to learn a lesson, but if you just told them that, how deep down are you learning that message?
Easy to forget those things.
Yeah, if you experience it. It's funny, I think coaching is a weird dichotomy between where you kind of do have to be a little authoritarian. You don't have to listen to as much as like when it's a team. And like you said, when they're all like, we don't want this guy on the team, he listened, and that factors in. But coaching's a little more of a, trust me, I have an experience kind of thing,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Still comes with trust. Like as a coach, you have to prove yourself for your team to trust you. And you have to put in the work too. If coach isn't putting in the most hours, if coach is going golfing while everyone else is running around and punching the dirt, that kind of thing, then no one's gonna trust coach.
You know who my favorite coach is from our high school, JJ?
I'm gonna try to guess. Coach Moss?
No, it's not a soccer coach. I'll give you a hint. He put his money where his mouth was when he realized he had made a mistake.
What was that guy's name? Kush?
Coach Kush, baby.
What's the story behind this?
So he was a lacrosse coach for, it was either our middle school or our JV team. And he, I forget what he did wrong, but he did something or said something that was completely wrong and inappropriate. And he felt so bad and that he needed to prove himself back to the team that he's like, you know what, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm going to run laps for you. And so he just went off for 30 minutes and started doing laps around the field while we were practicing.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous.
He gave himself 25 laps, and it was a day after a bunch of other kids got 25 laps. So he was like, if I'm going to punish the kids, I'm going to punish myself. And
how did the kids on the lacrosse team take that? Were they this guy's weird, or
no?
Or that's badass?
We loved it.
Coach Kush has been one of the nicest adult figures in Skinny Out School that I can think of. He was just such a genuine nice guy.
He also wasn't the head coach. He was an assistant coach. So he was
assistant coach. Because wasn't Benjamin, who was the head coach? Was it Benjamin?
Mr. Byer.
Oh, Byer.
That was the
Fabrice, and then Kush. But I was in the middle of that argument, and I would argue that he wasn't wrong, but he was out of place in saying it. Because
do you remember what the whole debacle was? I forget what the whole.
Yeah.
Did he say something inappropriate, or what was it?
Yeah, because all right, so Mr. Fabrizio was the attack coach.
Yeah.
And Mr. Byer was the overall coach. Fabrizio was attack coach. Kush was the defense coach. Fabrizio's son and I were both the only lefties on the team on attack, I guess. I don't know about you, Cheeky. I think you're a lefty, but I feel like you weren't going to start.
I played midfield. I wasn't a lacrosse guy. I hated lacrosse.
Midfield's the toughest position.
It's tough.
It's so much running.
Yeah. Especially in lacrosse, even more than lacrosse, more than soccer.
People can just fling the ball to the other side in 2 seconds.
You just run. Yeah, there'll be 10-minute stints where you never touch the ball, but you're sprinting back and forth. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Mr. Fabrizio's son played lefty attack where I would play, and he wasn't very athletic in my opinion, and he had this weird little underhand shot, and I don't think he was very good, but I thought he was getting favored.
One of those, side cranks?
Yeah, but it was a scoop underhand. It was kind of weird. I don't know. I have a biased opinion on this. Still hold a grudge. But he at one point he was just sucking for an entire game. Call it a bad stint. Call it how I think he always was. But
for the record, Jack went on to play college lacrosse, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because
he became a very good player.
Yeah, my mom blamed that on massages. That's something else we have to unpack. But, but I think back then, he was a bigger kid back then, and he wasn't very quick moving, and I don't think he was very good at that time. But Mr. Kush, he was doing really bad one game, and Mr. Kush was like, at least for this game, you got to put someone else in. He's doing really bad. You have, and at some point, he was like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it's something to the tune of your son sucks. Stop favoring him or something like that. And the coach, I don't really know how the rest of the interaction went on because I was actually about to be put in. So I think the other half of it was that it was bad timing because they were already taking him out. So I got put in and we won the game because I scored so many goals. But no, I actually have no idea. We probably still lost and I made no impact. But but yeah, that was that. And then Mr. Fabrizio moved up to varsity as a varsity coach, and when Jack did, and that's when I quit lacrosse because there's like I'm never going to get a chance to play here. But the massage thing was what's that?
Fuck 'em.
Nothing. Never mind. Fuck.
Yeah, fuck him. The massage thing was that one year he just like started moving better and he got like skinnier and like really fat, like faster and athletic. And my mom said that he got a series of massages that cleared up some athletic disabling knots in his back that made him better. And like I don't know what else to put that on because he did clearly become better over the course of one summer, one time. And obviously he became way better because he went to college. I didn't know he went to college for it. And I wasn't even near qualified to go to college, so.
Sign me up for those massages.
Yeah, I want to.
Sign me up for a different kind of massage. You know what I'm talking about?
Ew, a little tug and pull, a little putt golf.
A little happy ending, maybe?
A little bo peep.
Squeak in the sheets.
Little jackrabbit.
I'll roll you over, E.
Hey. Little night crawlers.
Right after ShoeNice finishes.
But yeah, I don't know. If I had to give my favorite leaders of all time, I'd probably say one that came up a lot was Winston Churchill.
I don't really know much about him.
Neither do I, but in a lot of my research, he came up as like a great leader. Another one is like a Martin Luther King Jr. because he didn't have any power necessarily. Like no one assigned him a place, a position. But he was so good at communicating, first of all, and listening, and he put in the hard work. He was the one putting on the hard work. He was kind of a good example of someone because I like picking people who don't have any. That like we had the unreleased episode about villains. That was about like what makes the villain and what makes the hero. And what we always said, what we concluded was
you
that the
identify
hero.
with the villain?
What's that?
That you identify with a part of the villain?
No. The conversation was about villain, but at one point we strayed off to hero, and we were saying one thing that made a hero was the unsuspecting person that didn't want it, that didn't have any power per se. And Martin Luther King, maybe he didn't really want power, he just wanted change. You know, he believed in an idea, and yeah, he put in the legwork for it and earned it.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Spider-Man's
Peter
another
Parker.
great leader.
Let that sink in.
Oh, gee,
That
nice hand
stink,
movements.
dude. You like these gestures, bub?
Do you like these jowls, bub? But yeah, what a wonderful world.
Made me think about communist Russia and how
Rasputin.
power corrupts. Was it when Vladimir Lenin?
Mm-hmm.
He had all these ideas about how proletariat needs fair wages and all that, and down with the bourgeoisie. And then when he got to power, he kind of flustered and he was like, I don't know what to do. And the people that were chirping him, he got mad at them. And so like all his values and everything that he fought for just went out the window, and he resorted to what he knew, which was an authoritative government. So that relates back to hammering that message into you. And like you got to have someone reminding you what's important, like when you're out of line and all that.
That's why we see so very few prolific leaders that last the test of time, because there's such a hard dichotomy between coming in and being able to listen to people, just the general normal person, forgetting your ego, but also having a plan, being able to stick to it, and being strong on your opinions so that you can make decisions. Because it's a very, like, maybe Lenin, I don't know that much about Lenin. I think he went down in history as a bad guy because of what he created by accident. But like, he might have had good ideas. He might have had the support of people. And then when you get there, if you don't have a plan, you just follow that emotional rush.
Right.
Then all of a sudden you get cold feet. You lose the will to perform, and you become a little wean.
Yeah, lose sight of the goals.
Yeah.
I think Rudy Giuliani is an example of that. Like, I don't remember, I don't know how he did as governor of New York, but I heard that, like, he was a really positive figure for 9/11 and all that. And now, like, everyone just hates him because he's cuckoo.
Just got too high. He tied his ship to the wrong
Icarus.
sails. Yeah.
Too close to the sun.
Too close to the sun.
Reminds me of a little boy I know. Cheek. Those angel wings.
You
Cheek,
fly
describe
close
your
to
journey.
the sun, you're gonna get burned.
Cheek, do you have excuse me. I'm not peeing. This is merely wine. You bag of wine. Sack of wine.
Man, you're chunking.
Yeah, I chunked up this week. Cheek,
Well, I
do you have
appreciate
superlatives
about you.
for us?
You have what?
Oh, a couple of superlatives. I got something. I got something for you. So I've been watching the show with our girlfriend a lot, which is a really bad Netflix show. Or it's not. It wasn't originally on Netflix. I think it was originally on like ABC or something. Called Once Upon a Time. Have you guys watched that at all?
Oh, you gotta give me more than that.
It's like it's a show about all the fairy tales and stories you ever heard of as a little kid ended up being real, and there was like this curse that brought all these fairy tale characters from the Enchanted Forest into our world and like created this little town called Storybrooke, Maine, where they just live and people don't realize it because of this curse. So
Sounds cool.
It's not. Don't watch it. I'm really embarrassed. So it's like it's got all these characters like Snow White and Prince Charming and Rumpelstiltskin and Captain Hook, and it does a really incredibly amazing cheesy job of tying in all these characters that have nothing to do with each other into this one insane storyline. Like Mulan's there, Peter Pan is there. It's the Seven Dwarves, like any story you could think of.
Trailers for this show now.
Yeah, they show up in this universe somehow. And so I've been thinking about superlatives, kind of like fairy tale edition. Like if we were in that universe, what are you most likely for?
Most likely to be like a blind mice or something.
Yeah. So for JJ in this universe, you're able to like move between worlds, like with different portals and stuff like that. Like they use the magic beans from Jack and the Beanstalk or whatever. The magic beans can create portals to get you into other worlds. And it always seems when they open a portal that somebody gets sucked into the portal on accident. And I just feel like JJ is most likely to get sucked into a portal by accident.
Yeah, that's awesome. Totally.
Like he's just that side character, like trying to help out, but like not really being successful. And then like somebody gets tackled and he just like accidentally falls back into the void.
Name an example in my life when that's happened.
Any Bills game.
You just get sucked into the void at any Bills game.
I don't disagree. I'm just curious.
I don't know why I thought of you for that, but
I love it.
And then for Eli,
my mind goes to when you got caught by the people in the tent and escorted out, and then seeing you emerge back out of the portal, waving hot dogs in your hands and your like little mittens.
You made it back somehow.
Like I just got on some like time cop journey and brought back. Like,
exactly.
That's how I felt too. Once I went in, like my beeline back to the portal, so to speak, was just such a prideful journey where I was just like strutting fast. I was like, what am I going to say when everyone sees me again?
I'm still alive.
I really want to lift up the hot dogs and just do like a...
Yes. Awesome. All right, what's mine?
Gee, give us more. Give us more. I love these.
For Eli, I wanted to kind of play off of like, for some reason, I always think of Eli as most likely to be like an evil villain or something. but but maybe maybe you don't have the leadership to be one of the main villains or something like that.
Shit. Yeah,
So I'm thinking you're kind of most likely to be the evil henchman that gets
like the Igor type character.
Yeah,
but that accidentally or maybe on purpose like pisses off the bigger villain and then gets turned into a rat for some reason.
Yeah, like zapped into a powder bash.
Wormtail.
Yeah.
Or like what's that guy from with Lord Voldemort and Harry Potter, the rat
Rat-tail.
guy?
Wormtail.
Wormtail, yeah.
Wormtail.
You would be a wormtail.
That hobbling little.
You'd be an Igor, a wormtail. Yes, your creation, it is perfect.
I'd love to be that dude.
And when I was watching the show yesterday, for some reason, Captain Hook's right-hand man, if you remember, Mr. Smee.
Yes,
he pisses off Rumpelstiltskin, and he's just so sick of this guy getting in his way and causing inconveniences that he just pulls out a wand and turns him into a rat, and the rat just scurries away. But he always comes back somehow to cause more mayhem.
I love that. Being a little rascal causing mayhem.
The parrot in Jafar, the monk in
Monkey
Aladdin,
and
the
Pirates.
monkey and pirates.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Hell
Eli.
yeah.
Although the parrot in Jafar I've always viewed as Nick, but
I'd have to watch that again. It's been a minute since Aladdin.
Yeah, Aladdin. Jeez, what's wrong with me?
Good
today?
movie.
Come on, Jay.
You got more, Cheek? One for yourself?
One for yourself?
I didn't really think of one for myself. Do you guys have one for me that you could think of in that like ridiculous fairy tale realm? Like, what would I be?
You'd be my frog that I kiss and turns into a prince.
I feel like I'd be a prince that they write in that nobody's ever heard of, and then dies like 2 seconds into his quest, and then they just move on to a different. Move on to a different story.
You know, in Shrek, they showed the other people who've tried to conquer the tower, and they're like handsome princes.
Yeah,
that's you.
I could also see you being like a traveling bard that people pick up along the way on their journey.
Like the
a traveling what?
Bard.
Like Roland?
A bard, like someone who sings tales and strums a little guitar.
Oh, I have a lute, and I just go around from tavern to tavern and singing tales. And people are just so annoyed at me. Eventually, they pay me to stop
Those were the
singing.
most annoying guys. You'd be a drunken bard in Assassin's Creed. You remember when you go and they'd be like singing the songs and stumbling around, and you run into them, and they'd be like, "Whoa!"
Oh yeah, knock you off your balance.
Yeah.
I'd be like that guy from Monty Python who, when they're telling the story of Sir Robin, who's just following him around. Sir Robin, Sir Robin.
Yeah.
He went to the forest to save the maiden Sir Robin. I don't know, something like that.
You would be that Cheek.
Just a pesky little musician. I'd probably go play some sick jams, though.
Or like
True.
the older Muppets, you know, the ones that sit up and like comment on what's happening with the Muppets.
Just judging everything that's going on.
So basically,
could be
most
me.
likely to be an outcast. Most likely to like a jam band in a Disney film.
I can't believe ShoeNice brought up Fish in the
mentioned
Grateful
Fish.
Dead.
Dude,
Can't wait to listen back to that.
I knew you were about to go off.
I know.
I wanted to,
Cheek,
but
you
I
stood up, you were
couldn't.
like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Went and grabbed my Grateful Dead magazine.
He wasn't as willing to connect with us. He didn't love us the way we loved him.
Usual.
That's what happens when you become as famous as he is.
Hey, someday when we're at the top of our game, we'll pull them up by the bootstraps.
Bootstraps.
The three of us would just be a part of the ship. We would be the three that emerge from the wall. Part of the ship, part of the crew. Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Most likely to be barnacles on the wall, us three.
That's my dream as an extra when they remake the Pirates of the Caribbean series. Let me just be an old pirate on the ship that just gets to chant, part of the ship, part of the crew.
Is probably the best role.
Being an extra was a goal of mine for a long time. Like, I worked in New Jersey for a while, and I just would constantly look up casting calls in New York and New Jersey, just trying to be in some kind of like extra of some big film. Yeah. It would be so cool to live in a big city for a year and just like make it your goal to just be in a movie, which is a place our podcast could go. We could just someday just dedicate a whole season, a whole 10 weeks of just being in LA and just like trying to be in a movie at some point.
That'd be sweet.
Living out of an RV.
We'd call it our
van
own,
down by the river.
What do you call it when like, because like actors get RVs as like their changing rooms? Yeah, it would be our mobile changing room.
It's their trailers.
We'd have our trailer. We'd pull ours up right next to Johnny Depp's.
Just write our names on a sign. Whose trailer is this? Who's JJ, Sean, and Eli? Are they in this movie?
Have them cast as extras.
You can't park that here. No, it's okay. We're extras.
We'd be such a nuisance.
We're in the movie. We brought our own trailer.
Yeah. We'd like come outside in like our underwear and a hot dog, like knocking on Johnny Depp's trailer. Hey, you got any ketchup?
Hey, you want to come over for a hot dog later?
Just pretend we're his meal guys. We bring in like gourmet hot dogs. Hey, you like Oscar Mayer, Johnsonville?
Somebody's like, what are you doing here? This is Johnny Depp's trailer. No, somebody called and told us he wanted an array of hot dogs, so we got a bunch of options for him. You gotta let us in.
You gotta let us in.
Johnny Depp himself, I swear to God, give me a Bible. I'll swear an oath.
He texted me he wanted a hot dog.
He texted me. If he texted me, you has to know me, right? You gotta trust me. What are you gonna say, Cheek? You had your lips pursed.
No, I got nothing.
All right. Well, we wrote that joke out. I don't want to stop talking. I'm having fun.
You fill me up, Jay?
Oh, red.
Fill me up with some pee.
I'm about to leak my lizard.
Let's do, what are you looking forward to this week? What do you got going on?
Rosebud and thorns? Or just roses? Or just buds?
We got looking... You don't have to make
what are you looking forward
metaphors.
to?
I'm looking forward to downloading Apex and playing with you.
I can't wait. Let me know. Although I'm pretty booked up this weekend, so maybe next week.
Yeah, me too.
I got my brother, my sister, my sister-in-law are all coming to town this Friday, and I'm hosting them for a few days, which I'm very excited for.
Nice.
Our good friend James Smith is in town, actually. I was supposed to hang out with him tonight, kind of ditched him, felt bad about that.
James. Are you supposed to have a brother's weekend with James? Or a siblings weekend with James?
What do you mean his sibling? What? He's not my sibling.
With James.
Like his
featuring
siblings as well?
James.
Well,
because your dad
my
was
siblings
like,
are...
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like up here at the same time as well, and we're all going to chill. Got some hikes planned out. Gonna hit some swimming holes. Got a couple of resis at some breweries. We're gonna get some IPAs and double IPAs off. Can't wait.
Cheek, you are good at chilling.
Cheek, you're the chill master of Baytown Heights.
Dude, you know that. You know that.
What a pleasant surprise.
Cheek, you excited to hear me eat into the microphone?
I guess just so you guys know, my computer just ran out of disk space for the recording, so maybe we should end it.
Oh shit. Your computer's
all right, and that's the end of that.
Yeah, well, it didn't end yet, but the video stopped because it said we didn't have enough, but I bet you the audio is going to be close behind.
Sheesh.
So, good to hear, Cheek, and I think we should all say thank you. Are you still recording? So I think we should all say thank you to ShoeNice. And the best way to say thank you to ShoeNice is to sing Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra like he did for us. So let's get it going.
Fly me to the moon.
ShoeNice. You're so nice.
You're the Forrest Gump I know.
What
All right, ShoeNice.
what character would ShoeNice be in the Enchanted Forest?
Be Sergeant Pepper. His Lonely Hearts Club Band.
All right,
There you
and
have it.
Soyo.
On.
Arrivederci.
Mia Dirties.
Soyo boyo.